Over here the team is demonstrating the stay. Now a stay means stay. No further command will be given to the dog. It waits for the handler to return. So what do? You put the dog in a sit or a down or whatever the dog's comfortable in, hold the lead and just move a couple of paces away from the dog. Wait 3, 4, 5 seconds, not too long, then return back to the dog. If the dog's done what exactly you wanted to do, break the exercise and praise the dog. As the dog's confidence grows and the handler's confidence grows, you can then extend the distance and extend the time. So that is the stay. It is not a wait. Two totally different exercises. Please do not, whatever you do, practice stays and wait straight after the other. You'll confuse the dog. So that's the first stage. Just the end of the lead, holding the lead for control, couple of steps, return, break the exercise, praise the dog.
Okay, we look at the return to handler exercise. Now don't forget, the bronze is the only exercise is where the dog actually is not held by the owner or the handler. At no point throughout the bronze exercise should the dog be let loose. So what we're looking at is the recall to handler. So what we're looking for the early stages, it might be just backing away from the dog, getting the dog to pay you some attention, stepping backwards and calling the dog into the handler. See with the little dog here, the handler's just going to step back, lots of encouragement and the dog comes back. So that's what we're looking for in the first stages of looking at the recall exercise. Now you see a little excitement there. The dog's actually moved away from the handler, got the toy out and straight away the dog did come back. But again on the test what we are looking for is the dog to obviously come straight back to the handler. But maybe at that particular moment in time the dog wasn't quite ready to actually come off the lead, so maybe a little bit more training back on the lead or a line, because don't forget we train for success. We don't train for the dog to fail, do we? We train for success. So again, a little bit of reinforcement, put it back onto the lead, and again, starting the recall all over again. And when you're confident, that is when you let your dogs off.
Now, over here, we're doing walking between people and dogs. You think, well, that's not a bit boring really for the dogs. But notice, the handlers are talking to the dogs, they're using the dog's name, the handler's trying to keep that dog's attention on them. Remember, this is the bronze level, the entry level. So, the handler's talking to the dogs, trying to keep the attention going, walking past the other dogs, no aggression, well socialised dogs. This is what you're looking for, something that's a pleasure to own for the rest of that dog's life. You're going to be its best friend.
Okay, so we're just finishing off on the rejoin handler exercise. Again, you saw it's a very important exercise. Now we're going to look at responsibility and care. And it's a question and answer sort of session between the, well, when you're doing it for your test, it's for the examiner. But during the course, you might do it as a group exercise or we ask individual questions. Now, when we ask these questions, we make sure we don't ask the questions in an ambiguous way where we are going to confuse the handlers. We're looking for responsibility and care. So we're going to start with this young man here. We'll start with a nice easy question, and all I'd like to ask you, could you give me just one example of a dog's needs?
Water every day.
Water. Make sure you have fresh water down for your dogs on a daily basis. And again, another sort of question we might ask is, could you give me an example of being a responsible dog owner?
Making sure your dog has an identification collar or tag.
Well, there we go, that's being responsible dog owner. Make sure that obviously the collar is fitted and it has the correct information on the ID tag. So that could lead me into another question maybe for our next handler. Could you tell me what should be on your ID tag?
Your name is in the owner's name and address.
Exactly, the owner's name and address. But don't forget, next in April the 6th, a new law is coming out where you need to make sure that you also are microchipped. Your dog needs to be microchipped. But just going back to the ID tag, do we need an ID tag if it's microchipped? Yes, we do. Very, very important. So as that lady said at the end, it should be your name and your address. I would put a telephone number on, but it's not a legal requirement. But again, it helps obviously locate the owner. But the tag is for legal reasons of making sure they know who to come to if your dog actually causes an accident. It's not just about the return, it's about your responsibility of letting your dog loose and causing an accident.
Okay, I think we're coming now to the end of the display. So, we're just doing a little dogs control there, hauling downs, stays, they go back to the dogs, get the dogs under control, and they break the exercise. Praise the dog. Now, people, these two teams this afternoon are going to take their examination in this ring for real. You've seen them use tidbits, you've seen them use toys to get the dog's attention on them. They will not be allowed during the examination, will they, Dave?
Okay, thanks very much, Steve. So that's the end of our demonstration for our bronze factor warm-up. Don't forget, as Steve said correctly, they are doing their test this afternoon. So I'd like you to put your hands together then for our team over this side. We have Lisa, who was the team leader. We have Rachel and Walter, Richard and Guy, Jenny and Ashibi, and of course, last but not least, Amy and Bracken.
And my team was Jane, their team leader, Georgette with Marble, Sally with Win, Jenny with Ben, and Anna with V. Wish them luck, folks. Give them applause. Thank you.
And thank you very much. That was